Hello, I hope everyone is doing well. This is another instructional video on how worship will be handled. We'll walk you through different aspects of worship: the arrival, coming into the narthex, the sanctuary, communion, and the exit. We hope these videos have been helpful in kind of understanding what's going to be going on. We look forward to seeing some of you on June 14th at 9 a.m. It'll be part of our trial phase. We hope everyone is doing well, and we hope to see you soon. Once you arrived at church, you'll park in your normal spots in the parking lot. You'll notice something a little different behind me. The double doors are open. If weather permitting, we'll keep the doors open so that people don't have to touch it coming in and out. If it is raining or something, we'll have an usher taking care of those doors. We ask that you use these doors and not the side door. That one will be locked. We also ask that you pay attention of how many people are gathering here up in front. The usher will kind of direct people to stay 6 feet apart. And if you feel like there's a line kind of going out, please just stay in your car for a little bit until that line comes down. And then you can start making your way into the church. Once you've made it into the narthex, I'll now show you how that will progress. Once you've arrived in the narthex, you'll see on the ground green tape marked out, and it's separated by 6 feet. You'll see a picture of that. We ask that family members and individuals stay 6 feet apart at those tape lines and gradually progress forward as people move further into the sanctuary. There's also a table here that will have hand sanitizer and extra masks. We ask that all people wear masks at this time unless you're under the age of 2. We ask that people wear their own masks if possible. We also will not have any hymnals in the pews for you, and no one will be handing out bulletins. The bulletins will be located in the pews that are available for people to sit. You can print off your own bulletins at home if you would like, and you can do that by going to our website. Or if you'd like to follow along with a bulletin on your phone or a tablet or something, you could do that as well. There's also an offering box located here as you progress forward to the double doors. You can place your offering there at the beginning of the service or on your way out. Once you've reached the double doors, we ask that you stop and wait for the usher to direct you forward. I will walk you through that portion here. Once you've arrived in our sanctuary, we ask that you pay attention to the usher who will be standing up in front of church. If he's taking care of somebody and showing them their seat, please just stand there for a little while. Once he's motioned to you to come, you'll notice green tape marks again by the pews that are available, but the usher will show you which pew to go to. He'll work from the front and go all the way to the back. If all the spots are filled, we have some spots up in the balcony. As we go through this trial phase, we may need some extra seats in the fellowship hall. If you end up having to sit in the fellowship hall, we thank you for your patience and understanding as we try to figure out how much seating we can actually do. We'll be starting with 40 people the first couple of weeks, just to allow us some wiggle room, and so that we're not dealing with 50 people right away. And it also gives us some room if someone comes up to church without signing up. We also encourage those who would like to worship with us to sign up online. Otherwise, as you progress through the church, the usher then will show you a spot with a green tape mark, and that is where your family unit would sit. If you're coming by yourself and you're the first person in that pew, you'll take the farthest spot to the side aisle. And if another single person or 2 people come, they can sit on the other side of the aisle, leaving 6 feet distancing in between. We ask that you just kind of follow the directions of our usher and try to work with them as best as you can. It'll be a trial phase, and we'll be learning as we go, and we'll be doing the best we can. When it comes to communion, in the preparation, the altar guild will be sanitizing or washing their hands and wearing a mask while they do it. And then for me, before communion, I'll sanitize my hands and I'll also be wearing a mask. How communion will work is that there's a table set up in the middle aisle at the bottom of the steps. This table will be used for our communion purposes. I will pay attention to how many people are coming up from each pew, from family units to single individuals. I will set up communion by putting the cup down on the table. The wafer is also located in the cup, so it's all part of one package. I will show you how that looks on the screen, and also I will show you a video after all of this. The usher will be the one directing the congregation pew by pew, and so if there's one family unit in the pew, they will come forward and everything will be prepared for them. I will back up onto this top step, which is exactly 6 feet away from the table. There's a green tape mark down below in front that is a marker of 6 feet from the table. So if I'm still prepping the table for communion, the family or individual is encouraged to stay there until I have made the step back here. Once that has happened, I'll invite the family to come forward. I'll encourage them to pick up the cup with the wafer in it. I'll say, take and eat. You'll take the wafer out of the cup, eat it, and then I'll say, take and drink, and you will drink it. I'll give you the blessing, and there'll be a spot for you to dispose of the cup. You'll walk around the edge of the selection of pews that you came from, and on that side, you'll notice that there are green tape on the ground as well, indicating which pews are available, helping you find the one that you left. If there happens to be one individual that came by themselves, or another one or two that are in the same pew, we'll do one person or the family unit, the couple that came together. They'll come forward, they'll take communion, and while they're walking back, the other individual that's in that same pew will come forward then. And once that pew is done, we'll go on to the next pew. The order of pews will be still the same as we normally do it. When it comes to private communion, we'll carry everything out the same way, the same distancing and the same practice. The double doors will be open and for you to come in, so you don't even have to touch anything. There'll be a screen up here kind of directing us through a small worship. If you're able to come to worship, we encourage you to take communion with your family. That is a special thing, and that's the way God encourages us to do it as a family. But if something is a barrier or we need to talk about something, I ask you that you call me or email me, and then we'll talk about it and see what's the best plan of action, what day and time and all of that. And again, I'll walk you through that before you arrive. I'll also kind of walk through communion the day of worship so that it's clear for everybody and we can understand what's going on. Again, this is a process that we're trying, and it may change over time. And we ask people to be patient with us and the ushers as they try to figure out the speed and the pacing of all of this. You may be wondering what the cup and wafer may look like. This is what you'll see on the table when you grab it. You'll notice that the wafer is in the cup, but it's stuck on top. The cup will be filled halfway with wine. When I say take and eat, you'll take your finger and kind of spin the wafer. Once you spin it, you can pull it out and eat it. Again, I'll show you how that works. You'll take your finger, spin the wafer, and take it out. And then when I say take and drink, you'll drink the cup as you normally would. And then after we are done, I'll give the blessing, and you'll dispose of the cup and head back to the pew like I had described before. If you have some problems, maybe with holding on to things or feeling like your hands are a little shaky, I ask that you talk to me and we'll find a way that will work for you. We want to try to help our members as best as we can. Once the service has concluded, I'll give any further announcements, and then I'll leave the sanctuary, either going into the fellowship hall or the office located here on the sanctuary. An usher will come forward to the front and usher each family unit one at a time, keeping a 6-foot distancing. The double doors will be open so you don't have to touch, or an usher will assist you with that. Once you made it into the parking lot, you may socialize, keeping that 6-foot distancing, but we ask that you use some discretion while doing it. We understand all this has been a process, but we look forward to seeing our brothers and sisters, some of you, here in church, and that we can share God's word with one another, hearing the comfort that we need during this time. God's blessing until we see you again.